Did you know that lobsters have at least two penises? Or did you know that lobsters attract mates by pissing out their eyes? Lobsters are fucking cool as shit.
Almost 80% of ocean hasn't been discovered. What are you most likely to find there? 80% of what we have discovered down there are creatures straight out of horror story. So it's likely we'll discover something even more horrifying.
Probably just a bunch of bioluminescent creatures and small weird looking creatures. Also trash and maybe pieces of unsolved mysteries that happened out at sea. I'd expect to find some kind of artifact or fossil as well that dates back millions of years. I want gigantic sea creatures to be real cause that will just be cool AF. But sadly, our friend Blue Whale will have to do. I heard some stories of the guys that dwelt in the deep dark areas that have to live in pressurized containers while working. There are many stories of huge currents passing by them from something big swimming by that they can't see in the blackness. That's a pass from me. If you've never seen or heard a Komodo dragon, lion, or bear before and stumble on one in the wild with no understanding of the origin of this creature, your first thought would be, the F is this monster trying to kill me? A real life monster is just something you don't have any knowledge of yet. Anything monstrous quickly becomes just another animal as soon as you learn it exists.
This is why I watch the Schmidt, Okeanos, and Nautilus ocean floor survey live streams. An ocean rover maneuvered by a team of biologists and technicians live stream their coverage of the bottom of the ocean, collecting specimens and seeing amazing things, often for hours. It's super soothing and yet extremely engaging, and the crew have a great rapport and are often full of silly marine puns. Often they run into some extremely beautiful and amazing sights, and garbage is actually quite rare, thankfully. And the campaigns last for about a week or of daily 5 hour long streams every few months. It rolls. I wonder how much funds needed for this kind of deep sea expedition team. I work on an NSF funded deep sea oceanography research vessel, and I've been told it's around $50,000 per day for the ship, crew, food, and fuel. I imagine there is some kind of absolutely huge lobster down there. Deep sea gigantism is a thing. Giant ipsodes, giant squids, giant spider crabs, and sea are all far larger than their relatives that live closer to the surface. There's also the fact that lobsters never stop growing until they die and do not suffer negative effects of aging. Basically, I just wanted to talk about lobsters for a minute. Did you know that lobsters have at least two penises? You did? Well, did you know that lobsters attract mates by pissing out of their eyes? Lobsters are fucking cool as shit. Edit. Damn, yo! I didn't expect this post to blow up like this. Anyway, did you guys know that California's pride lobsters apparently taste better than Maine lobsters, but they aren't eaten in large numbers here as the vast majority are exported to China? Or did you guys know that California's spiny lobsters scale away predators by using their huge antenna to make a loud noise that sounds like a train stopping? Or has the squad heard that female California spiny lobsters have a small claw near one of their pussies for some reason? Did you guys know that two of the California spiny lobster's main predators are the lingcod? Did you all know that lingcod isn't a ling and it isn't a cod? And the cabezon, two of the only fish in the world that have blue meat? How about how Langostino lobsters aren't lobsters at all, but are actually more closely related to hermit crabs? Dear beer eater, I used to be a lobster eater, but I don't know if I can face the double penis in my mouth. Thanks for the fun facts though.
Not with that attitude.
No, but this actually scares me. I hate the ocean because of the fact that most of it is still undiscovered. I have no idea what could be down there, and I think that's the scariest thing about it, to be honest. I imagine some kind of terrifying fish creatures.
If it's any comfort, the creatures down there are used to immense pressures. Like your mom. They couldn't come to the surface, let alone leave the water, for extended periods of time, if at all. Like your mom. And bold claims of thriving, sentient life in the oceans aren't realistic either, since we have satellite maps of the seafloor and would have noticed artificial structures like cities.
Huge, unimaginable forces of nature at the boundaries of the tectonic plates, where volcanic and subduction forces shape the bottom of the sea floor. There are entire mountain ranges under the oceans we have never seen. There are volcanoes. There is life that lives independently from sunlight, and its metabolism is like that of aliens for other worlds.
I'm still waiting for mermaids.
Have you heard of the mystery of the untouchable bathysphere fish? A lucky naturalist in a submarine described several species of unknown fish that are only known for his own detailed eyewitness account and some artists' depictions of the deep sea creatures. So, whether or not these mysterious fish were real and out there, still waiting to be discovered, may forever remain a mystery. The ocean is a big ass place. Who knows who's living in the deepest and darkest depths? Godzilla, Megalodon, a living dinosaur, the bloop, who knows? Last civilizations. About 10,000 years ago, we came out of a mini ice age. The oceans rose and flooded coastlines. This was the Great Flood we seen in the Christian Bible and other religions too. It wasn't a sudden flood, as the biblical and other stories would have you believe, but happened fast enough that the story was told into legend. Since a lot of civilizations are situated on the coast, they were swallowed by water. We would absolutely find last civilizations underwater. Fish aren't as dumb as you think. They aren't caught by fishermen because they don't know what a hook is. The bravest warriors of the fish society sacrifice themselves and bite the hook on purpose. If they're lucky, they will be thrown back into the drink, and now they can tell the other fish what they have seen. That's how they explored 20%. There are fish everywhere on this planet, whether it's the sea, a lake, a river, or even a small creek. They have their eyes everywhere. But how do they exchange information from a creek fish to a sea fish, you may ask? Well, salmon are the messengers of the fish world. That's why they travel up and down the river once a year. Not to reproduce, that's just concealment. They do in fact carry valuable information.